In this video, I'm going to teach you about the value of listening and how your success as a coach does not depend on how much you know, but on how much you're able to listen. My name is Bonnie. I'm an experienced coach and the accreditation facilitator here at the Coaching Masters. This channel is all about helping you achieve complete coaching mastery to uplevel your skills and grow your business. Now come in, get cozy, because today you're going to listen to me talk all about listening. I think I'm funny. But if you are a talker, then this is going to be essential for you. And if you're not, it's still going to be key, because listening is the foundation of coaching. And we want to make sure that we've got a really strong foundation, because if we don't, everything else along the line is just going to be messy and be a bit harder. So we get that strong foundation so that we can go out and be a successful coach. Now, this is important for you if you are just beginning, you may not know about the concept of listening yet, or maybe you are a coach, but you are struggling with not giving advice and you are still listening to respond instead of to understand. Or maybe you are coaching, but you are doing a bit of mentoring and you have just kind of forgotten all about that basis of how important it is to listen. So I wanted to bring this up today so that we are all on the same page and we agree that listening is crucial and it is the core of coaching. Now, it is something that is seemingly simple, and some of you may just be going, listening, that's so easy, but it's definitely not easy. And how do I know this? Because of the many situations I have been in where I have left the conversation feeling unheard and like I wasn't listened to. If it was easy, we would all be amazing listeners, but this is definitely not the case. And I'm sure many of you can resonate with this feeling. For example, have you ever been talking to someone and they talk over you? Or have you been in a group conversation and you say something really hilarious and nobody hears it? You're just left feeling a little bit stupid and then you have to kind of repeat it again to try and be heard. Or how about when you're talking to a partner and you just don't really feel like they are hearing what you're saying? Or maybe someone is seeming to listen to you, but instead of hearing you out, they're just throwing that unsolicited advice at you, right? Do this. Have you tried that? Oh, this worked for George, who did it for 2 weeks, and da 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 da. So not helpful. If you are trying to talk about your feelings, your thoughts, and someone else is just telling you what to do about it, then it's just not a great feeling, right? How does this make you feel? It might make you feel awkward. It might make you feel unheard or unvalued. It might make you feel like what you have to say isn't important. And another instance of not listening properly is when you are misunderstood, right? So how does that make you feel? How does it feel when you're in a conversation with your partner? You're talking and it turns into an argument and you're just saying over and over, and you don't understand me, you're not listening to me. And misunderstandings can a lot of the time lead to conflict. Now, communication in between individuals is meant to be 50% talking and 50% listening. There are so many channels that can teach us how to be a successful talker, right? Successful at speaking. We've got public speaking courses like the Toastmasters and things like this. But the other 50% is just ignored. There is not a lot that is out there for teaching you how to be an effective listener. So how do we fix this? And how does listening come into coaching? In order to explain this, I think it's extremely important to talk about a key component that we have in NLP, or a key concept, and that is the map. So in NLP, we like to say the map is not the territory. And that is the idea that the way we see the world isn't true reality. We have created our own maps based off of the things that we have deemed to be important. They are our own interpretations of events, and we bring our own meaning into everything. Now, why is this important? Because it means that everyone's map is different. So none of our maps are the same, because we all have like different experiences and meanings that we bring to them. We could all witness the exact same event and all of our perspectives could be different. And because we create these different meanings for the same event, that means that we are completely misunderstanding each other all of the time. This can even happen with words. Even if we think that someone is listening to us, they could be hearing a word and they could be creating a meaning that is completely different to what the other person means. I've got a really good example if we take it the word good. So good to me means like mediocre. It's all right, right? Because if I'm in a restaurant and I say, oh yeah, the food was good, then it's good. It's not bad. It's all right. If I really like that food, I'm going, this food is amazing. Oh, it was so great. It was really, really tasty, right? I'm adding so much more emphasis into it than just, oh yeah, it was good. Now, my partner, on the other hand, he likes to use the word good, but it is as a positive, whereas mine may come out as more negative, right? It's just, it's okay. His good is, yes, this is really good. Or, you know, it is amazing. Maybe he doesn't use the word amazing as much as I do. And so obviously have this misunderstanding about the word good. So then when I go, oh, how's the food? And he goes, yeah, it's good. I'm going, oh my God, he doesn't really like it. It's not really tasty. Like, what can I do to make it better? And he's going, no, I really like it. I'm like, well, obviously not, because it's just good. So now I'm confused because I think that he means it's bad. He's confused because he means it's good. And now I've taken offense to it and he doesn't understand why. So it's important for us to understand what the word means to each other. other. So now if I hear him say the word good, I know he means that no, it's actually good, or else he would say bad. But it just comes with that conversation and looking to understand the other person. But look how much confusion can arise just off one word. Arguments can happen and complete misunderstanding when nothing is meant. No malice, no harm is meant by it. And now this concept was huge for me because it just means that the world has become so much more clear, knowing that everyone is walking around not understanding each other. It's no wonder there are so many miscommunication issues all the time in relationships, in business, and customer service. I see these miscommunications everywhere, and now I understand them because we all have our different views of what is happening in our world, and we just don't understand the other person. So what is the solution to this? It is active listening. Active listening is listening with the intent to understand instead of respond. So what does this mean? A lot of the time we listen simply to respond. So we hear what someone is saying and we are going, okay, I need to figure out what my response is to what they're saying, or we're looking for similarities, going, oh yeah, they're talking about jet skiing. Oh, I remember when I went jet skiing when I was 11. Like, I'm gonna shove that in the conversation so that we seem relatable, right? Because a lot of the time we just want to try to be relatable, because if we relate to someone, then they're more likely to like us and things like that. So we try to plan out our conversation to find ways that we are relatable. But when we're doing this, we're not listening to what the other person is truly saying, because I'm in my own mind going, oh, jet skiing, yeah, I've done that, and I'm not listening to the other person. When we listen to understand, we do not compare ourselves. We ask questions to help get on the same page as the other person. The listening is intentional. We listen with our ears, our intuition, because there's a lot going on that is unsaid, and it's important to tune into this as well. We'll talk about that a bit later, but the role of the coach is to provide this safe space, a safe space for the client to be able to be their true self. There's no judgment in the space. This is the client's opportunity to be able to speak about anything and everything that comes up for them. So many people are not giving this opportunity, an opportunity where they are really given the chance to be heard. I know I have had clients who have confided in me the things that they haven't been able to tell anyone in like 40, 50 years. And that would be such a difficult feeling, to feel trapped with these confusing thoughts. And finally, they open up to me because they feel safe. They are no longer afraid of being judged or being seen, and it is such a gift to allow someone the chance to be fully heard. When we are truly listening, we are able to receive who the person truly is. Listening can be one of the most powerful tools in your toolbox. So we refer to that toolbox of that kit that you're going to start building up when you get more practice and more resources and skills that you can use with your client. You could be the only person that is listening to your client. It is really crucial to understand as a coach just the value of being a set of ears. No longer is your client afraid of being cut off in conversation or interrupted or having unsolicited advice thrown at them. They know that this time is just for them. This is their space, and they are free to open up in whatever way they choose. So what happens for the client when you use active listening? One thing I said is that it allows your clients to be heard. It also allows your clients to be able to articulate their own world. They can listen to themselves and they can hear the words that they're using, and just being able to say something out loud is extremely therapeutic. It gets the thoughts out of your head and can help you gain clarity, because how often is our mind just running things over and over again in our head? And by getting it out of your head and listening to yourself say it out loud, a lot of the time realizations can come from that fact alone. Another thing that happens with active listening is we are validating the other person. So what are you listening for? You are listening for the way that someone is positioning themselves in their story and how they are positioning themselves to you as a coach. We are listening to find out someone's needs. We are listening to find out the key words that are going to let us know what someone values. And then we go deeper. Instead of sharing our point of view, we listen to what is said and we respond in order to understand. So we ask questions. For example, if someone were to ask, how was your day? And they say good, I would go, oh, you say it was good? What do you mean by that? And this way they are able to go on and explain what they meant by good. And it also allows me to say the word and repeat it back to them so that they can then assess and listen to the word good and hear like, okay, am I good? Is that actually what I meant? Yes, it is. Okay. Now they can see this picture more clearly and they can respond back with something that is going to be more clear for them. And this allows me to understand my client more and understand what is being communicated to me. When you're engaging in active listening, it means that you are fully present and engaged in the moment. You're listening with all of your senses and you're listening out for those nonverbals. So this means body language is an important part of coaching. A client may be saying one thing, but their body language or their face or their tonality is saying something completely different. So it is important to read the signals. Like if someone says that they are really excited about a job promotion, but you see them looking awkward and they're kind of looking down maybe, or, you know, scrunching, shrinking themselves, then this is a cue that they may not be excited. So if you dig deeper and you start asking questions, you may find that actually they think they are undeserving of the promotion. So instead of being excited, they are anxious, a bit awkward, they feel a bit of regret because they got it over someone. And active listening allows us to observe someone in their totality and figure these things out so that we can coach them out of it. So we're listening to everything. So I can feel with my intuition if something is off in relation to what they have said and their body language or their tonality, and then that allows me to then dig deeper. Another element that is important as coaching is feeding back to the client what you have heard. So you want to repeat what the client has said back to them. Now, I did this in the example of the word good. So how are you? Good. Oh, I hear you said good. What does that mean? So if you repeat back what you have heard, and this gives them the chance to again hear the words back for themselves, and it also allows the client to feel understood. So it makes them feel like I understand them more, and it also allows them to analyze now what they have said. It gives them that time to go, okay, yes, I did mean that. I did mean I was good. Or they can actually go, no, actually, I'm not good. I'm actually this feeling instead. So what you're doing here is just helping gain more clarity for the client. And again, it just allows you that extra bit of understanding as well. So if you are one of these people that is struggling with listening, I would encourage you to look at what is happening for yourself. Sometimes we can have the best intention at heart and we want to give advice because we feel like we can see it clearly, right? So a lot of us do this because we just want to help the other person. We're like, here's the answer, it's right here. How are you not seeing this? And so we just want to give it to them so they get the solution quickly. Coaches I've worked with have gone, it just takes so much time for them to discover the answer when I have it, so I'm saving them time. And this isn't actually correct. If you find yourself in this situation, you are listening from your side of the conversation. So you're not listening from the other person's, you are listening with the intent to respond and not to understand. You are paying attention, but paying attention is different to active listening, and it can be draining, right? It's like you're forced to pay attention, whereas active listening, you want to be doing it. You should want to be doing this as a coach. You should want to be hearing your client out, and you should want to be able to understand them fully. And at the heart of coaching is the belief that individuals have within themselves the knowledge and the ability to find their own way towards improvement. And if you deny someone this incredible opportunity to empower themselves and to discover the answer for themselves, you are really robbing them. If you are able to allow someone to find the answers for themselves, you are helping them become more self-reflective. You're helping them become more emotionally intelligent and more self-aware. So please do not take this valuable experience away from any of your clients. They will also be more likely to listen and take the appropriate action when it comes from themselves. Now, this is really true. How many times have you maybe witnessed someone and you're like, oh, they shouldn't be in that relationship, and you tell them, look at all of these red flags. Yes, the person may hear you, but until they see those red flags for themselves, they aren't going to do anything about it. And so sometimes this does take time, but we want to give people the opportunity to go out there and discover the answers for themselves. I have good news for you guys though. For everyone listening is an action and it is a skill set, and this means that it's something that can be improved upon. So in order to improve it, like anything, practice. So practice your listening. Choose someone and have a conversation with them and make the conversation fully about them. This reminds me of dating. If you are on a first date, then you are the person that has been talking, then you leave the date feeling really good. This also happens with our clients. Because we make them feel listened to, they leave the session feeling really good, and they're going to be more likely to come back to you because you have made them feel amazing just simply by listening to them. So for some of you, this may mean releasing an ego element that comes with speaking. So sometimes, we do it to help, but sometimes there's a little bit of ego that comes along, especially when we are first starting as a coach. So you may feel that in order to be a really great coach, you need to be providing information. You may feel like you aren't giving advice and you aren't doing enough. So you need to just be giving them loads and loads of value, or else you're not good enough as a coach. And this is absolutely wrong. So drop the need to prove how impressive you are as a coach by having all the answers. Remember that the meaning you make is determined by your own map. So if you are giving advice when you do not fully understand the other person, you haven't asked them questions, you haven't dug deeper on words or what they're saying, then you're just going to be making assumptions about what they mean. And you are saying that my world is better than yours. Your world is wrong. You are just trying to make yourself the more powerful one, right? And this can be something that we do because we're thinking, oh, well, I'm the coach. Like I should be in the power seat. But this isn't necessarily true, right? That's not what we want. Coaching is about empowering. So when you go into a coaching conversation, I want you to drop everything you know. Go in with openness and just get curious about the person sitting in front of you. I want you to think to yourself, how am I going to listen to this person so that I can fully understand them to the best of my ability? And if you're listening and asking questions, then that is the key. Knowledge can be Googled. They can find information on their own. And if you are just providing knowledge to someone, they're going to go away. So right, what they really need you for is for the things they can't do on their own. And they can't be given the safe space of clarity that is provided when someone is giving you their full attention. And when you start engaging in active listening, you will notice the difference in your coaching sessions. Your clients will be left with just a positive impact, and they will definitely be wanting to book more sessions with you. More sessions equals more clients equals more money. So these things will all come your way with the simple foundational tool of being able to listen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, and make sure to hit that like button. I will see you guys in the next video.